What if GMC builds a truck so big, so powerful, and so unapologetically bold that even the most extreme heavy-duty pickups on the road start to look ordinary? Because what you're looking at right now isn't just another truck idea, it's something far more aggressive, far more ambitious, and honestly, a little bit controversial. This is the next generation vision of the 2026 to 27 GMC Sierra Denali 6500 pickup truck. And before we go any further, let's be clear about one thing. This is not officially confirmed by GMC as a production model in the same way you see the Sierra 2500 HD or 3500 HD on the road today. What you're seeing across the internet is a concept-level direction, a digital vision, a what-if scenario. But sometimes, these what-if ideas tell you exactly where the future is heading. And if GMC ever decides to turn this into reality, this wouldn't just be another truck. This would be a statement. A machine designed to dominate roads, job sites, highways, and social media feeds all at the same time. Just take a moment and picture this. You're pulling up to a construction site, or maybe a luxury ranch, or even a high-end event. And instead of blending into a parking lot full of pickups, this thing stands alone, taller, wider, louder in presence without even making a sound. That's the kind of impact a Sierra Denali 6500 concept is trying to create. From the very first look, it doesn't behave like a normal pickup. It feels oversized in every direction, almost like a commercial truck that decided to wear a luxury suit. The front end is massive, dominated by that signature GMC grille, stretched wider and taller than what you're used to seeing on standard Sierra HD models. It doesn't ask for attention, it demands it, and then you notice the details. Sharp LED lighting that looks surgical, a hood design that feels sculpted for power, a stance that sits high, giving it that commanding road view that heavy-duty truck buyers love, massive wheels wrapped in thick, aggressive tires that don't just hint at capability, they promise it. But here's where things start getting interesting, because this truck isn't trying to be just tough, it's trying to be both extreme strength and extreme luxury at the same time, and that combination is very rare. Think about it. In today's market, you either go for a luxury SUV like an Escalade or a Range Rover, or you go for a heavy-duty work truck built for towing and hauling. Very few vehicles truly combine both worlds without compromise. This concept is trying to erase that line completely. Now imagine stepping inside. Instead of a basic work truck cabin with hard plastics and minimal tech, you're surrounded by premium materials, soft-touch leather everywhere, precision stitching, ambient lighting that changes the mood of the cabin depending on the time of day, a massive digital display stretching across the dashboard, giving you everything from navigation to towing data in real time. And right in front of you, a fully digital instrument cluster that feels more like a cockpit than a truck dashboard. You sit down, and the seat doesn't just support you, it adjusts, cools, heats, and maybe even massages depending on how GMC decides to push the Denali badge forward in the future. Now ask yourself this, how many heavy-duty trucks actually make you feel like that? This is where the Sierra Denali 6500 concept separates itself from everything else, because it's not just about doing the job, it's about how you feel while doing it. But let's not forget what a 6500 badge actually represents. This isn't a light-duty or even a standard heavy-duty pickup category. A 6500 class truck moves closer to commercial territory. That means stronger frame construction, higher payload capability, more serious towing numbers, and components designed to handle stress over long periods. So if GMC builds this, it wouldn't just be a bigger Sierra. It would require a completely upgraded backbone. Stronger axles, reinforced chassis, advanced cooling systems, heavy-duty suspension tuned not just for weight, but for stability under pressure. And when it comes to power, this is where expectations get serious. The most logical direction would be a version of the 6.6-liter Duramax turbo diesel V8. This engine already has a reputation for delivering massive torque in current Sierra HD models. But for a 6500 style truck, it wouldn't just be about carrying over the same setup. It would need more refinement, more durability, possibly even more torque tuning to handle extreme loads. Because, let's be real, nobody buys a truck like this to win drag races. You buy it because you want to hook up a massive trailer, a fifth-wheel RV, a horse trailer, or heavy equipment, and move it with confidence. And confidence is everything in this segment. Now here's something most people don't think about until they actually drive a big truck. It's not just about pulling power, it's about control. And that's where technology starts to matter more than ever. Imagine a system that gives you a transparent view of your trailer while driving. So instead of guessing what's behind you, you can actually see through the trailer using camera systems. Add to that a full 360-degree camera setup, blind zone alerts specifically designed for long trailers, adaptive cruise control that adjusts based on towing load, and lane assistance systems that help keep everything stable on the highway. Suddenly, driving a massive truck doesn't feel stressful. It feels manageable. And that changes everything for buyers. Because one of the biggest barriers to owning a truck this size has always been fear. Fear of handling it, parking it, maneuvering it in tight spaces. Technology is slowly removing that fear. But here comes the part where reality hits. Price. If GMC ever puts something like this into production, it will not be cheap. Not even close. Current Sierra HD Denali models already sit in premium territory. Move into Denali Ultimate, and you're approaching luxury SUV pricing. Now imagine taking that formula, increasing size, increasing capability, adding more technology, and pushing the concept further. You're easily looking at a starting price above $100,000, and that's just the beginning. Add optional packages, upgraded interiors, advanced towing tech, custom wheels, and possible dealer markups. And suddenly, you're in the $120,000 to $150,000 range. At that level, this truck doesn't compete with regular pickups anymore. It enters a completely different category. A category where buyers are not just comparing trucks, they're comparing experiences. They're asking questions like, should I get a luxury SUV instead? Should I step into something like an Escalade? Or do I want something that feels more powerful, more unique, more commanding? And that's exactly the space this concept is trying to own. But let's talk about something even more important than the purchase price: ownership. Because buying a truck like this is one thing, living with it is something else entirely. Fuel costs alone could be significant, especially if diesel prices stay high. Maintenance won't be cheap either. Heavy-duty diesel engines require proper servicing, and skipping that is not an option. Then there are tires. Large, aggressive tires wear out faster and cost more to replace. Brakes, suspension components, and other parts are also built for heavy use, which means higher replacement costs over time. And then comes daily usability. Parking this truck in a tight urban area? Not easy. Driving through narrow streets? Stressful. Fitting into standard garages or drive-thrus? Sometimes impossible. This is not a casual daily driver. This is a machine that demands space, planning, and purpose. And that brings us to the most important question. Who is this actually for? Because not everyone needs a truck like this. And honestly, not everyone should buy one. If you're someone who regularly tows heavy loads, runs a business that depends on hauling equipment, owns a ranch, or travels with large trailers, then this kind of truck starts to make sense. It becomes a tool, a powerful, capable, high-end tool. But if your daily routine involves city driving, short commutes, grocery runs, and occasional weekend trips, then most of what this truck offers will go unused. And that's where many buyers make mistakes. They fall in love with the look, the size, the presence. But they don't think about the long-term reality. And this is where a smarter decision might be something like a Sierra 3500 HD Denali Ultimate. Still powerful, still luxurious, but more practical. Because bigger isn't always better. Sometimes it's just bigger. Now, don't get it wrong. There's something incredibly exciting about this concept. It represents a direction, a future where trucks are no longer just work machines. They become lifestyle statements, business tools, luxury experiences. It shows how far the segment has evolved. Bigger screens, better interiors, advanced safety systems, smarter towing technology. And if GMC executes this properly, it could create something truly unique. But execution is everything. Because once you cross that $100,000 mark, expectations change completely. Buyers are no longer forgiving. They expect perfection, smooth ride quality, reliable performance, premium materials that last, technology that actually works without frustration. This truck cannot just look good. It has to deliver. So here's the final thought. If the Sierra Denali 6500 becomes real, it will not be a truck for everyone. It will be a niche product, a bold one, a statement piece. For the right buyer, it could be a dream machine. For the wrong buyer, it could become an expensive regret. And that's the difference between buying with emotion and buying with logic. Because in the end, the biggest, boldest truck on the road isn't always the best choice, but it is the hardest one to ignore.